This video is on coterminal angles. Here are the objectives for this video. We are going to define the coterminal angles. We are going to define and find them. So I guess we're going to define them a couple of times. Coterminal angles are two or more angles in standard position. That's the vertex at the origin with the initial side along the x-axis, just like here, whose terminal side ends up in the same place. They can be negative or positive. They can go in counterclockwise or clockwise directions and or multiple rotations. So for instance, if I have 200 degrees, right, 200 degrees, this is 180 and 20 more, right? This is 200 degrees. And I'm going to write 20 here. This is 180. These are kind of reference points. So another way to show a coterminal angle would be to start at this initial side and end up in this direction, the opposite direction. We remember that opposite direction has to be, it could be 360 minus 200 gets me 160. So negative 160 is this angle right here. Same thing. Ends up in the same spot. Another thing I could do is I could go all the way around first, right? That's 360 plus another 200. So 360 plus 200, 560 is another coterminal angle. After you do a few of these, you can see that there is a pattern here. You can use rotations and directions to get easily 2 or 3 coterminal angles for each. If you're going to find one positive and one negative, you can manipulate it that way. So for instance, 52 degrees, not sure what happened to my degree symbols. If I did 52 degrees plus 360, that would give me 1. So that would be 2, 1, 4, 412 degrees. If I did 360 minus 52, that would get me 208. Only I'm going the opposite direction, so that would be negative 208. And then if I had this one, this is already negative 390. So if I add 360 to it, 390 degrees plus 360, you would think I would get a positive, but I don't. I'm still going to be negative 30. If I have 390 minus 360, basically I'm adding them together in a negative direction. Remember that negative just means direction, opposite direction. It doesn't mean it's a negative measure at all. 0, 5, 750 degrees. I'm doing these quickly in my head, not checking them on a calculator. So if you find an error, be sure and let me know. Okay, so I would like you to work the other 4 on this page. Get me a positive and a negative coterminal angle for each angle. Sometimes students find it easier if they can see it visually, so you might want to graph it first to see where it is, just like we did on the previous screen. So that would make it a little bit easier. Here's how I feel about tools. Use the tools until you don't need to anymore, and that's fine. If you can do them in your head, that's awesome. That just makes it a little easier. But the goal here is not easy. The goal here is accuracy. So here we go. These are actually multiple choice questions. Which of the following angles is coterminal with an angle of 135 degrees? And I've been sitting here writing in the degree symbols. And so I'd like for you to answer these 2 and do those other problems, and I will see you in class.